Howdy, Compelled Unbeliever here. Today I'm not actually going to talk about anything. Instead, I'm going to allow Mr. Daniel Carter to refute himself. In his description, he says, and I quote, "We live in a world that seems incapable of distinguishing fact from religious nonsense." Well, Mr. Carter, that's the only thing that you got right. A link will be provided in the description to the full video, but I just didn't want to bore you with all of his rambling. He provides zero evidence for his claims, and there is so much to refute in this video that it would just take too long to even bother with. Mr. Carter, you failed to address how science even is religious, but go ahead and monopolize my channel and inspire us with your wisdom.
It just got real.
Oh, wow.
Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc.
Okay, Mr. Carter, your definitions aren't exactly correct, but let's just see how your case stands up to your definitions.
And what I'm saying is things like how far away the sun is, how far away the moon is. I believe we've been lied to about everything. Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc. I believe the Earth isn't moving at all, and I believe that the sun is extremely closer than what we've been led to believe. Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc. If you get one side of your triangle is only 1,000 miles, and you've got totally different angles to the sun from just 1,000 miles away, that means that the sun has to be only a few thousand miles away from the Earth. And my guess is somewhere between 4,000 and 8,000 miles away from the Earth. Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc. The word light year is purely religious. 1 light year, I believe, I don't have anything pulled up to look at, but I believe 1 light year is like 6 or 7 trillion miles. Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc. Because I believe the Bible is absolutely the Word of God, from beginning to end, from verse 1 to the last verse of Revelation 22, whatever the last verse is of that chapter. Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc. We've recently had solar eclipses with the sun and the moon, and when the sun goes behind the moon exactly, and you get the total blackout from the moon, you have to be within an area that's only like 67 miles or so in diameter. That, to me, is a hard scientific proof that the moon's diameter has to be less than 67 miles. Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc. And I wonder if stars might just be close enough that we could maybe actually travel to one, which goes totally against what people want to claim as science, because they want to play like it's scientific fact that the closest star to the Earth is 5 light years away. I don't think so. I think that's utter absurd nonsense. Science is supposed to be what we can see, test, know, and demonstrate. It isn't supposed to be what we think, what we speculate, different assumptions, etc. But one of the crazy things that I think a lot about, too, I really honestly believe that our entire universe may very well be much smaller than 1 light year. And don't trust me at all.
Rest assured, Mr. Carter, we will not take your advice. And by the way, I've got a Jesus t-shirt too. Remember, as always, this is a skeptic's annotated Bible. It needs to be treated with respect.